Hello and welcome back to another episode of Scriptcase by Jamie. And yes, it's another one of those where I'm going to share another one of those awesome applications with you. And this one, I've been using this one for a very long time. I somehow come across this a long time ago and it's one of those lifetime deals. All right? And Sticky Password has been my go-to password manager ever since. And one of the things that drew me to using this application is the fact that I can store everything locally. Okay, so Sticky Password works on Mac, it works on Windows, it works on my phone, on my Android phone, on my Apple phone, even though I don't have an Apple phone, but it works on that as well. I do have a Mac and it works there beautifully. What I can say about this application is that it has been one of the most useful applications I've had since I purchased it. And of course, storing your passwords is very important. And I'm going to show you around this application a little bit and tell you some of the reasons why I really like using this. Not only because, of course, it saves me from remembering all my passwords, but it also allows me to keep notes. It stores my identities. It has bookmarks. It did even have a free security dashboard, which I had for a little while, but that just recently ran out. So I can't really show you that one unless I renew the service. So I had it free for a little while, and then that has stopped. So I think that's pretty much the same for everybody. And I think that is probably something worth having, because you see here I have 265 good passwords and 376 bad passwords, which are somewhere on the dark web. So that's not very good, is it? So I should maybe update those passwords and maybe go through this again, renew this, and actually resolve all of those issues. And of course I have many weak passwords there, reused passwords, expired passwords, as well as ignored passwords. And I see here the issues actually with the weak and the reused. But that's all okay. And one of the things I do like about this, of course, is that it stores all of my local accounts, so I can have them all locally beautifully. I can have portable passwords, which is really nice. You know, I can store my passwords on a pen, not online, or even on a local file, not online. So nobody can access them. How cool is that? Now, I think that's really cool, and that is definitely one of those features that I really do like about a lot of these applications, is when you can keep your data, when it's your data and it doesn't become somebody else's because you've used their services. Let's not mention any names, right? Because it's apparently what they've all been doing for a long time now. And well, that is where I think Sticky Password can help you a little bit to, retain some of that data and some of that security even, or peace of mind. Now, within this software, you have all of the web accounts. So if you've been watching the Scriptcase by Jamie channel for a little while now, or you have been watching the Scriptcase channel, you would have seen Sticky Password pop up every so often. And of course, if I open up, say, my Scriptcase development environment, well, here on my server, I have a pretty complex password. It's not just admin, which would be here, the default password. This actually has around 13, 14 characters in there. Now, of course, I could try and remember that password, but as it's a password that I could never really think of because I use the generator, well, it's going to be very difficult for me. So whenever I come to any website online, as you see, I just come here and it says login as admin. Now, if that isn't working, I always have the little icons here on the right-hand side of all of these inserts. And I can log in as admin or any other user account I have created for that service, that website, that portal, whatever it may be. And again, this is why I like using this, because I can create 50 different accounts for the same website and I could just choose the accounts I want to use. Not only that, when I fill in the forms, I also then have the option to use one of the profiles that are available or that I've entered and created. Now, I can log in as a specific user, I can add a new login, I can edit the account, or I can open sticky password. Now, I have sticky password open already, so we'll just return back to it, shall we? Now, in here, I can add a new account, and then when I add a new account, I add the link, I can add a comment to that, I can add then the username, the description, as well as then the password. Now, it tells me as well if it is a strong or weak password, and whether the password will expire. So I can specify that. Now I do have the option to automatically log into websites. I don't really like having this enabled myself, especially when you have multiple accounts for a specific service. So it's always good to disable that option. Now, if you don't know what password to use, you can use here the generator. Just click that little button there and you can specify here a nice 24, 30 character password if the platform supports it, which is something I would definitely advise. The longer your password, the better. The more complicated it is, the better. So have all of these symbols available, use the typical characters, and maybe exclude similar characters. And then you just click generate, and there we have now a super complicated, long, super strong password as well, because even a supercomputer takes quite a few years to crack this one. And that's something that you maybe will want. Okay, so then we have here our password history as well. So we have a nice history there of that current login, which is really nice. Okay, so with that, we have here app accounts. So I'll cancel that because, we don't, storing the password would typically be automatic, okay? Because you're going to go to the website, you're going to log in, and then it's going to say, store this password. And you're going to say, yes, please. Store it. Always store the password, because that way you will have them stored. You will never lose them. You're not going to have issues. Save yourself a lot of headache. Get yourself a password manager. If you don't have one, you're missing out. And like I said, because you can store your passwords locally, this, well, maybe your new go-to password manager. Okay, so we have all of those options here on each of these applications. Now, these are applications I have stored on my phone, and that's why you see here the Android icon. And over here on the right, I can launch them. I can automatically log in. I can change all of the same settings that I can also for my browser-based login accounts. And like I said, I just have that installed on my phone, and off it goes. Now up in the menu here, I have the tools available, and that is where you will also find the password generator, which is very nice. You have the portable passwords option there, a virtual keyboard, and also an option to restore, import, export all of your settings and so forth. Now you can add accounts up here in the main menu as well, or of course you can use any of these options over here on the left hand side. Now with the identities, we can add a new identity here. And then whenever I come to a form, it will automatically give me the option to add that data. So here I could say Captain Scriptcase, for instance, and then I could use or create a personal profile for Captain Scriptcase, and I could then use that throughout my applications or whenever I need to fill in a form. And you see in some of these I already have my data there, and it will then just give me the option to add that. Now you have bookmarks here, and you see I've barely really used the bookmarks. Now that is entirely up to you. I have Google to sync those, and I don't really care much about bookmarks. Okay, so we have here also secure memos, so I can add memos in here as well, and these are then also secured within the environment and encrypted, of course. We have here our sharing center, so I'm able to share items with other sticky password users, as well as emergency contacts, which is always handy to have, right? Emergency contacts. Maybe I should add mine in there if I had any. Well, maybe. And then we have, of course, our security dashboard, which we come to a few moments ago, or at the beginning of the video, really. And, showing that section off. Now, this is a really cool software, and I can definitely highly recommend this one. As I said, I've been using it for years. I've not had any issues with it that I can think of, and it cost me peanuts, really. The $19 I think it cost for the lifetime access. You can't go wrong with that. You really cannot go wrong with that sort of investment, because that's what it is. This is basically your online safe. Okay, helping keeping you secure online. And that's the sort of application that maybe you are looking for. And if not, get it anyway. It's awesome and it's super helpful. Get rid of those, tacky old software password management applications that don't allow you to protect and store your own data. What happens when they get hacked? What happens? It's more likely they will get hacked than you and your little drive at home. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and of course the other alternative password manager that maybe you will be using soon. So thanks again, and until the next video.